I just saw it, and I think at that moment I thought,
It hit you.
this is really what I want.
And how old were you at the time?
I was 49.
49.
Yeah.
And then you were like, okay, I'm
This is what I want.
Charlotte, not just Fridays, but full time now.
Pretty much. It's just this is what I want. I mean, obviously, I still kind of presented as Kev because I didn't have many clothes. And I obviously still try to figure things out myself, but just learning about what to do.
I don't want to go back. It was your timing. But the fact that it was 49 years is incredible. And I think you should be really proud of yourself. And I'm sure you can inspire lots of other people who are similar age like you, in their 50s, and who thinking it's too late for me, it's too late, there's no point transitioning. What advice would you have for those people who think it's too late, I'm too old for this?
You're never too old. It's never too late.
Do you think if there was trans representation in the 70s, 80s, do you think you would transition before? Or do you think it was just the perfect timing that happened with your partner, with his lingerie thing, and then it kind of naturally evolved into your transition at 49?
I've got to deal with that.
Yes.
I went through I remember going through puberty and not liking what I saw. I'd cover myself up in biggest clothes I could find, hide myself away because I just didn't like what was happening. So that's when it happened for me.
Yeah.
And I've got to deal with everything.
Yeah.
Everything that I've been through and what my body's done, what testosterone's done to me. Which, if I could take it out and give it a good slapping, I would do.
Bad testosterone.
Well, for us, it's awful.
I know.
But for like trans men, it's amazing.
Of course.
Look at it. Oh my God. Your voice deepens.
Everything.
You get a beard. Some of you go bald.
Muscle mass.
You get huge. And they're all beautiful. Both me and my sister are pansexual. We've both tried to tell her.
Your sister's pansexual too?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I don't know what she did to us. There was something in the food in the 70s, obviously. Because it takes quite a while for it all to settle down properly.
The swallowing.
The swallowing. Swallowing. The swelling.
There's a swallowing.
The swallowing.
The swelling. It's gender dysphoria, where we really still see the other gender before our transition in the mirror. Yeah. And we always think everyone can see us.
That's what people say.
That's what people see. So being trans is a very expensive hobby.
It's cost me 70,000 so far.
70,000 you spent?
Yeah.
That's crazy. People still think that we still doing it for
shits
fun.
And giggles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it infuriates. You're a man, you'll always be a man. Fine. If men look like me in your world, can I join you?
I love that.
Freaks like you shouldn't fucking be in here. I thought, oh shit, right, okay. Because I suppose that was my introduction to transphobia.
Sometimes you recover from a hate crime for a week, for weeks, you know.
This is me. I'm here. Deal with it.
Yeah.
Tranny, that's a tranny. Whatever. How would you know, love? Trust me, in 5 years' time, you'll be on Pissing Grindr looking for women like me.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Trans Crash, the podcast where we go deep into the lives, stories, and dating experiences of trans women. I'm your host, Bevi, and I'm so happy you are watching. Thank you so much for your love, and remember, if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet or the follow button if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcast, please do it now because every single one of you counts and I'm so grateful. And today's episode is very special because our guest today is Charlotte Rose. Charlotte is a freelance graphic designer from Bradford in West Yorkshire. She's a midlife transitioner and her journey started just before her 49th birthday. And she has finally found her true self and she's enjoying life now more than ever. Charlotte is a true fighter for trans rights and she refuses to tone down for anyone. And I'm so glad she is in the studio with us today. Hi, Charlotte. Welcome to Trans Crash.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
I'm so excited to interview you today because I think you're a great representation for middle-aged trans women.
Thank you.
So I'm so excited to hear your story and find out about your life. We have a little tradition here on the podcast, and that is question, what makes you happy? So what makes you happy, Charlotte?
Oh, to be honest, living as I am. I think going through life before, kind of looking back, it's like living in like a haze, like denial for years. And now that I'm myself, it's better. Scary times, but I still feel better in myself. So just being me is making me happy.
Beautiful.
And oral sex.
When was the moment when you knew you were a woman?
I think I've always known since I was a child, probably about 5, 6, 7 years old. I knew I was different. But growing up back then, there were no words, no resources, obviously no internet, no Google. Because I do remember wearing my sister's like 90s and liking it until my spunk monkey found me and just went absolutely ballistic. Spunk, biological father, but it is no spunk monkey. And he went ballistic, and I thought I'd done something wrong. So obviously I hid it for years and years and years. And it just got put back in my mind further and further back, just got suppressed. But then obviously now looking back, I can see certain aspects of my life where I think, yeah, it was there, it was there, it was there.
Always made sense.
Yeah, things started to kind of click. Yeah, I just went through life, dating girls. I did actually get married, had a daughter. That relationship lasted 23 years. And then we separated.
How many?
23 years.
23 years.
Then we separated. I left for other reasons. Nothing to do with...
Your identity.
Yeah, nothing to do with that.
Just didn't work out.
Yeah, stopped talking, unfortunately. Very nice. But I got a boyfriend afterwards. And he kind of suggested to me that I wear lingerie. So I thought, yeah, fair enough, I'll do that. I had a really kind of buff body, kept in shape. I mean, I looked really nice. I mean, looking back now, I thought, if I could get a boyfriend like him, I'd be laughing like me, you know, delighted. So yeah, I put on lingerie. I thought, yeah, I look good. I like it. It's nice. As that relationship kind of developed, the lingerie went to dresses and heels and everything else. And I remember one time getting ready at his, got all my hair done because I was growing it out slowly because I had like a number 2 buzz cut. So I had a wig, so I put that on. And I got myself dressed in a nice little black dress that I'd found. I got these lovely 6-inch black heels that I really liked. Crippled my feet, but really liked. Walked downstairs and he was sat down. So I just kind of paraded around for him. And the way that he looked at me was so intoxicating. You know, just like devouring me with his eyes. I thought, oh, I like this feeling that I've got. It was like a bit of a power kind of trip. But then I looked in the mirror as I turned around, and what I saw, I thought, oh yeah, I like that. And everything started to click. I thought, yeah, this is what I want. You know, this is kind of, this feels right. What I'm doing.
Was it the feeling of feeling feminine?
Yeah.
Yeah, the feminine
feeling and looking like
right.
femme. I thought this is what I wanted all my life. I mean, I remember having as a kid, like, if you had one wish, what would it be? I thought, to be a girl. You know, wake up to be a girl. And I'd forgotten all these things. But yeah, when he kind of looked at me and I saw myself in the mirror, I thought, yeah, this is where I want to go. I then created Charlotte as a Facebook kind of persona. Just initially I went non-binary because I had my two kind of lives
in between
on Facebook. Yeah. But
so at the time you were presenting male, but you had like your...
I presented male in life.
I
suppose. But then when with him, I'd dress.
In private life, dress up, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You were Charlotte.
Yeah. But as I progressed more, toward Charlotte, because that were getting more and more prominent for me. He didn't want that. He wanted my old self, Kev, dressed. He didn't want a woman, which were a bit of a shame because he was a really nice guy. Really nice guy. Lots of poppers and lots of sex. Amazing. I do like sex. So yeah, that unfortunately that kind of fizzled out. But I kept going. I thought, yeah, this feels right. You know, so I'll buy more clothes, get myself kind of more into colouring my hair, which I still do because I love coloured hair. Don't do great.
They look great.
Yeah, thank you. I had it specially done. So yeah, then experimenting with makeup and such thing. I mean, I look back on some of those initial pictures and I die. Absolutely cringe. I think, oh my God. It's just awful. It took me like 5 hours. I'd look like a clown. I think, oh God, this is going to take
Yeah, it's
forever.
just getting better and better, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I'm getting to a point now where it's not bad. You know, I'm getting there. It's been a few years. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of how Charlotte kicked off.
How it all happened.
It kind of got leaked at work because I was working at the time full time. That this Charlotte on Facebook was me.
And it got leaked at work.
Yeah, somebody found it. People you may know. Obviously, Charlotte popped up.
Okay, of course.
It's like, oh my God.
Thank you, Facebook algorithm.
Yes. Always a pleasure. So I was like, oh, Kev's Charlotte. And I just thought, screw it, I'm going to own it.
Yeah.
So my manager said, like, at the time, yeah, everything all right? I said, oh, yeah, something I've got to tell you. Obviously, I've got this female persona, Charlotte. And she went, oh, yeah, I know. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I thought everybody's seen it.
So everyone was cool with it.
I think they were just kind of looking at this, what's going on, sort of thing, because that's when I came out at work as being non-binary.
Right.
So I asked them if they could have like MX as my prefix. They didn't have that on the system.
Yeah. Just to clarify, MX is a title for non-binary people. So it's not like MR or MS. It's MX.
Yeah.
Just to clarify for our listeners.
Sorry.
That's
I thought you'd be educated enough. But they didn't have that on the system. So they just said, oh, we'll just take it off. We'll just put a prefix on for you. I thought, yeah, that's fine. That's cool. That's close enough.
They didn't have MX on the system?
No, just Mr. or Mrs. or Miss.
So what did you choose?
Nothing.
Nothing? No title?
Just no title.
Yeah.
So I thought that's fine. It's not a problem. They then started panicking as to what toilet I was going to use. I thought, well, I still go to work as Kev. So I'll just use gents. It's fine. Not a problem. I thought, there's a disabled toilet. I'll go in there. It's doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because I was very much mask, I suppose. Like I said, the short hair, stubble, all my clothes were all mask and stuff. I went down, trying to think, when would it be? Probably midsummer time. I went down to see a friend in Portsmouth. By that point, I think my makeup had come on a little bit better. My clothes were relatively subdued from a femme kind of point of view. But I thought, right, I'm going to travel down from Bradford down to Portsmouth, but I'll dress. You know, first time out. Okay. I mean, again, I look back and think, oh, God. So I had like Chelsea boots on, skinny jeans. Then I put a beach skirt around, little crop top. That were it. I thought, great. Crap it myself, but great, off I go. So I did that, and that went without a hitch, all fine. And I was telling my manager at work about this, and she said, you'll have to come in on Friday, dressed. You know, wear the outfit. I thought, right, I will. I thought, God, what am I doing? This is like Tuesday or Wednesday. So on the Friday, I got to work, and then got changed at work into Charlotte. And from that point on, every Friday, I'd dress as Charlotte at work. And that's how it progressed at work. I thought, yeah, this is getting more and more.
So it started every Friday?
Yeah, just once a week.
Yeah, once a week.
Change. And then it progressed from, like, obviously, god-awful doing things. Then I had a little skater skirt and tops and stuff.
How was the reaction of your co-workers? Was it mostly positive or neutral?
I think by that point, a lot of them were aware that I was Charlotte. On Facebook, I've got quite a lot of photos of me like dressed and stuff. No face. In fact, one girl said to me, says, "Oh, I had like this grey dress on, long dress." She went, "Oh, it's lovely, that dress. Is it corseted?" I went, "No." See, sure. Yeah, I says, God, you're buff, aren't you? I went, yeah, I just hide it well, you know. So yeah, just more and more femme as the time went on. At that point, I still wasn't tucking because I didn't understand what tucking was. So I dread to think what I look like. But nobody kind of said anything to me. They were all fine. My manager said that they wanted to kind of look like, what the hell, sort of thing. But I mean, so what? Let them look.
Yeah.
It's fine. We're fine. They did start to panic more then as to where we're going to go to toilets. I do remember going in and I thought I need to go to the toilet, so I just went to gents because everyone knew who I was.
Yeah.
So fine. But I had like I say, a little skirt and a little crop top, Chelsea boots again because it's only boots that I had, tights, and the studio dude kind of was in there as well, and I was washing my hands. You turn around and kind of looked and just went, amazing. Okay, I looked up, pardon, says, you look amazing. I said, oh, thank you very much. He says, no, honestly, amazing. And he just stood there in doorway, and I was like washing my hands, thinking, this ain't awkward. Stood in toilets, and you're kind of stood in door, and I'm washing my hands, thinking, oh, okay, can we go? But yeah, no, it was quite nice. That was quite affirming. Because, like I say, he was the dude of the office.
Right.
I mean, and yeah, I would. Oh, God, I would. Really nice. Like 6'4", really tall, quite broad. So yeah, it's like I think I feel like I've lost track, but I think it was like little steps going through.
Yeah.
For me to kind of, I won't say accept that we're female. It was just more affirming that I was going down the right route. Shortly after that point, I won a boudoir shoot at a photo studio because there was a competition. But it was like ladies only. I thought, I'll apply for it. And I wouldn't. So I thought, I best phone up and say, look, by the way, I'm transitioning. Is that going to be okay? Because it's like an all-female studio. They were fine with it.
Yeah.
Apparently they get quite a few transitioners going through. And the night before, I had to try on like different outfits, try and figure out what we're going to wear. At my friend's, Joanne. Hi, Joanne. She's my strongest ally, bless her. So putting all these different outfits on, I thought, right now, no, that won't do. Because obviously, boudoir shoe, I thought, what can I wear? I bought myself a corset. So I thought, right, try this corset. I thought, we have to get this corset tied up. So I went, practice. And kind of stood in front of this mirror. I got my jeans on, and she put this corset on. And as she slowly tightened it up, that figure came into play. More and more femme as it got tighter and tighter. And I just kind of stopped and just kind of looked. And she was like, are you all right? I said, no. I said, what's up? She says, this is what I want. I just saw it, and I think at that moment I thought,
It hit you.
This is really what I want.
And how old were you at the time?
I was 49.
49.
Yeah.
And then you were like, okay, I'm
this is what I want.
Charlotte, not just Fridays, but full time now.
Pretty much. It's just that this is what I want. I mean, obviously, I still kind of presented as Kev because I didn't have many clothes. And I obviously still try to figure things out myself, just learning about what to do.
I can imagine it must have been quite hard for you to, after 49 years of your life presenting male, just to change your life 180 degrees in terms of, fashion, makeup, hair, everything, you know. It must have been such a big transition for you because 49 years presenting as someone
is a long time.
It's a long time, because most of the guests I've had here on the podcast, they usually they transition in their teens or early 20s. So I find it fascinating with you that I don't want to say you were waiting so long or you were, you wasn't sure. I don't want to go back. It was your timing. But the fact that it was 49 years is incredible. And I think you should be really proud of yourself. And, I'm sure you can inspire lots of other people who are similar age like you in their 50s and who thinking it's too late for me. It's too late. there's no point transitioning.
Oh, it's
What
never
advice?
too late.
What advice would you have for those people who think it's too late? I'm too old for this.
Oh, you're never too old. It's never too late. It's like me growing up. You were like 70s and 80s. So Spunk Monkey were a man's man. You know, he obviously wanted his son to be a man's boy sort of thing. Trying to take me to sport, which I didn't like. I hated.
Say it again.
Taking me to like sport events and stuff.
Sport events.
Which I hated.
I struggle to understand you sometimes.
It's fine. I just subtitles, please.
You get subtitles.
She's northern. Oh my god.
No, I really was like spa or sport.
Sport, darling.
Sport.
So it's sport events, which I hated. Absolutely hated. I want sports. I want into cars. Nothing like that. Just didn't appeal to me. Like playing with other boys, I thought they're too rough. I just don't want to do this. I'd rather hang around with a girl. So much nicer.
Yeah, I felt the same.
Yeah.
At school.
I think I just don't want to do this.
Nothing to do with it.
No. So yeah, growing up in the 70s and 80s, very different kind of atmosphere. You had Section 28 at school, so you didn't learn about
Section 28.
Yeah, you didn't learn about LGBTQI plus community. That wasn't allowed to be taught.
It was still illegal, wasn't it, to be homosexual until like 1970 something?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, in the UK.
But yeah, Section 28 didn't allow for that to be taught in schools. So it was never presented. So you never got to learn about that side of it, unless you had seriously strong feelings. But obviously by that point, I'd started to repress all those feelings.
There was no representation because they make you feel like there's something wrong with you, right? Instead of, let's celebrate your difference.
Well, like I said, I mean, Spunk Monkey wouldn't have it, I suppose. It was just, I mean, they were a dickhead anyway. My mum, very liberal, very open-minded. So she thought that was gay. I thought, no, I'm beyond gay, mother. I think she was a bit disappointed when I got a girlfriend, to be honest.
Are you talking about your age now or when
no,
you were
when I was younger.
When you were younger, okay.
So
she thought you were gay?
Yeah.
Right.
Because I was quite in touch with my feminine side.
Femininity, okay.
So not in touch as much as I wanted to be. So in touch with my feminine side. Very emotional, soft. A soft lad.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, gentle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it just got repressed. And obviously I repressed it more as I went through life, thinking, I didn't really think about it until obviously boyfriend and it all it flooded back. So yeah, there's no minimum or maximum age for starting your journey at all.
Do you think if there was trans representation in the 70s, 80s, do you think you would transition before, or do you think it was just the perfect timing that happened with your partner, with his lingerie thing, and then it kind of naturally evolved into your transition at 49?
I suppose if there had been more representation, then I would have questioned myself at the time. I mean, there are posts now showing like 70s and 80s, like trans femmes and trans masks on TV, but it was rare and it was late at night.
Very underground, very rare.
Yeah, so I wouldn't see that. Being a child, I'd be in bed. So I try not to kind of dwell too much on missed years, I suppose. In this case, if it happened to me when it happened to me, I've got to deal with that.
Yes.
You know, I remember going through puberty and not liking what I saw. I'd cover myself up in biggest clothes I could find, hide myself away because I just didn't like what was happening. I got this voice at 11 years old. I mean, I hit puberty when I was 9.
Wow.
So I was quite young.
Very young, yeah.
So puberty blockers were out the window then. So I got this voice when I was like 11, which was, I remember sort of like people sort of like adults talking to me, and I'd go, "You all right?" And, oh my god! So
it is gentle boy, and then this voice, right? Yeah.
Oh my god! It's
So
I don't kind of. Yeah, I don't dwell on what could have been. You know, it happened to me when I was 48, I suppose, just before my 49th birthday, is when I met my boyfriends. So that's when it happened for me.
Yeah.
And I've got to deal with everything.
Yeah.
Everything that I've been through and what my body's done, what testosterone's done to me. Which, if I could take it out and give it a good slapping, I would do.
Bad testosterone.
Well, for us, it's awful.
I know.
But for like trans men, it's amazing.
Of course.
Look at it, oh my God.
Yeah.
Your voice deepens.
Everything.
You get a beard. Some of you go bald.
Muscle mass.
You get huge. And they're all beautiful. Sickeningly beautiful men. I understand T for T. I thought, oh yeah. Well,
yeah. Have you dated a trans person?
No.
No.
I've met a trans person.
Yeah. But not dating.
But not dating. We were friends.
Yeah.
And we had a bit of a
and you mentioned you dated men in the past?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pansexual.
You're pansexual.
So, like, from that perspective, I suppose my sexuality has not changed.
No.
Still pansexual.
So you've always been pansexual your whole life?
Yeah.
That's how you feel?
Growing up, I thought I was bisexual because I'd never heard of pansexual.
Right. Can you tell our listeners what pansexual means to you? Because there are maybe people who they don't even still know what pansexual means.
Yeah, ask my mum, she didn't know. Both me and my sister are pansexual. We've both tried to tell her.
Your sister's pansexual too?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. I don't know what she did to us. There was something in the food in the 70s, obviously. You know. For me, pansexual is...
Lots of eggs fried on a pan, probably.
I like the person, irrespective of gender or sex. Yeah, it's a case of, like, rather than sort of like being bisexual, obviously for you, it's a case of I like Pavi because she's a woman. Or I like Steve because he's a man. I don't know who Steve is, but Steve will do for now. Hi, Steve. Whereas it's a case of I like Pavi because I like you. I like Steve because I like you. Doesn't matter about anything.
Do you need
else.
emotional connection before sexual attraction? To date? Like, is your visual attraction...
I can be quite shallow when it comes to looks. But that's like that instant attraction.
Yeah. I guess it's normal for most of people.
That's not,
Yeah.
But I do like to connect with
Yeah.
people. I love connecting, because you get a deeper kind of connection with someone if you actually bond emotionally, I think. Even just as friends. It doesn't have to be like a romantic kind of situation. Just to have that friendship. I do have quite a few friends now that I've made since separating and transitioning. And it's just it's a different feeling now. I think since obviously prior to when testosterone ruled the world for me, those kind of feelings just start there. It's like Joanne, like I mentioned before, I'm close to ally. We actually met on Tinder when I was Kev. So just before I started to dress with boyfriends, I was still kind of going out. So we met up on Tinder and we got along. And we continued to get along. Even though it was like sporadic initially at first and stuff. But now it's like, I couldn't imagine not having her around. That obviously started off as that sexual attraction. And now it's like just best friends for life sort of thing. It's like, I think it's like a soulmate but as a friend. And I appreciate that more.
Yeah.
So much more. But there is, I think with a partner, I think being emotionally connected is definitely something that I want.
Would you say people who are pansexual are more into the emotional connection? Or is it everything is the same? It's just the sexual attraction?
I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
Completely depends on the person. I mean, for me, it's that mix of both. You get that sexual initially and then you get the emotional afterwards.
Like, for example, your sister. Are you on the same page?
I think we are very similar. Yeah, we are very
Yeah.
similar. I mean, we went through a period of, I suppose, not being more emotionally connected with people to a point where I suppose we both are now. Because we're both Alberts, so it's fine. Yeah, I mean, she's younger than me, but only just. It's fine. I've had work. I look younger. It's not a problem.
Speaking of work, this next question actually want to ask you. You told me earlier that you have face feminization surgery.
Yeah.
You're looking amazing.
Thank you.
I want to ask you, what was the process of getting it done?
I took redundancy at the end of 2019, November 2019. And my idea was take December off and then try and get another job in 2020, beginning of 2020. In the meantime, book a trip and go to Canada, see family and friends. Because I've got this redundancy money, I can use it.
Yeah.
COVID struck in 2020. So I was due to fly out on the Friday in the March to Canada. On the Monday, we went into lockdown. So that all got scuppered. So that jobs just dried up because nobody were kind of employing anybody. They weren't interviewing or anything like that. I thought, right, fine. So I was sat on the apartment on my own with time to think. I thought, what the hell, just on my own, just sat there, bored. And I kind of realised that I thought I need to take my transition further. I thought dressing's fine. I'm growing my hair out. I'm doing my makeup, I'm doing my nails and everything else, trying to present more and more femme. Doing my best anyway at the time. So I thought, right, I need to get referred because I started researching that. I thought, right, gender clinic. I thought, right, I need to get referred. So I got in touch with my doctor. I thought I'd like to be referred to gender clinic. Oh, yeah, it's fine. One at Leeds, yeah, blah, blah, blah. The wait time is quite lengthy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it could be a couple of years.
Oh, yeah. And you're like, no way.
A couple of years, my ass. It's been 5 years now, and I've still got another, at least 2 to go. So I thought, right, okay, well, put my name down. Fine, sort it from there. So then I started looking at the private side of things. So thinking, I want to start hormones, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to get surgery, I do this. I want it all at once, I want it now.
Yeah. Oh, the impatience is real.
God.
The impatience is real, isn't it?
5 years later, I'm getting to this point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want it now.
Because you're like, you are presenting, let's say, masculine, you look male, you look male, whatever.
Get rid of that.
You're like, I want to look this now.
Yeah.
But no one tells you. You have to be patient.
Yeah.
Laser removal takes time. Hormones take time to kick in. Surgeries take time to save for the money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, I'm going to look at this privately. So I then looked into it privately. I ended up with Gender Care.
Yeah.
Which is a UK-based one. And so I thought, right, I need to see a psychiatrist, consultant. So right, okay, it'd be looking at like 9 months. Unless you want a cancellation. So I'm happy for cancellation, it's not fine. So even 9 months is less than the gender clinic.
Yeah.
So I thought I'll do that. And it took March, April, and I think it was November. I finally got seen by a psychiatrist.
Okay, it's like 7 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a bit less.
Yeah.
So I was chatting to him, going through everything, went through my life and how I felt, and he kind of, after the sessions, so I said, yes, you are suffering from gender dysphoria. I thought, good.
Tell me something
I
new.
could have told you that myself. He said, right, what's your next steps? I said, to be honest, I'm not too sure. He said, well, you need to obviously change your name. And by that point, I just started the deep pearl process. So I said, oh yeah, I'm doing deep pearl, blah, blah, blah. I said, what name did you decide? So Charlotte. I said, oh, it's a good name. It's a classical name. It kind of suits your age. So the amount of Tiffany's that I get.
I think Charlotte actually, now when you say that, Charlotte really suits you. Like, when I look at him, Charlotte. Yeah, it really suits you.
Well, I had to try and think of a name because I've come from quite a large family and there's a lot of girls. I thought, well, I can't have that name,
Right. Charlotte wasn't taken.
Charlotte's not taken.
Yeah.
I love that one. But then somebody said Victoria. I thought, oh, quite like Victoria.
Yeah.
But no, Charlotte's already here.
Yeah.
So Charlotte's fine. And I thought, I do suit Charlotte.
So got a gender specialist or a psychiatrist?
Psychiatrist. Gender specialist, actually, so I said, do this.
Change the name.
Change the name, Deep Pearl. I said, maybe think about a middle name. So Charlotte Rose. The most I think it's the third most common bloody combination of transgender females.
Is it?
Charlotte is the third most common name
Is
for
it?
trans femmes.
Well, we didn't note it here. Thank you.
Charlotte Rose, and then friends had a work colleague who had a child, Charlotte Rose. I've got a friend who works in a bar. They employed a young trans girl, Charlotte Rose.
So Charlotte is did you say the most
It's the third most
used
yeah in
name for trans women in UK?
Yeah, I can't remember what the two were.
And then Charlotte Rose is another very common.
I think Rose is quite a common middle name as well.
Right.
So it's because they're two really nice classical sort of names, I think. So yeah, then I got my gender specialist, gender dysphoria, got my DPOL in the work sort of thing. Came up with a Rose, which another friend suggested, White Rose. Hi, Rachel. So I've got a list of sponsors that I need to read out. Sorry. So I then put myself forward for endocrinologist.
Okay.
Again, cancellation, get me there sort of thing, which was the following March. So things started to happen a little bit quicker at that point. So March 2021, I started hormones, just estrogen. I'd already been on finasteride and minoxidil to kind of cut down on the hair loss, which I'd pay for myself online. And I then I started asking, would you recommend any surgeons? And they would say, we can't really recommend them, but here's some names. So looking at these names, I think the one in Far East, which I got in touch with, they said send pictures and stuff like that. So I did that. And then kind of working out, and then I also got in touch with a few in UK. And bizarre, the prices weren't that far off. I thought when you take into consideration travelling, staying, it all starts to add up. I thought if anything goes wrong when I'm abroad or when I come back, it's too many complications for me to deal with. So I thought I'm going to stick to UK. And that's when I got in touch with London Transgender Clinic, Dr. Inglefield. Yeah. So I thought, right, get that sorted out. Again, okay, so there's a wait list of X, Y, and Z months. I think because 2020 was such a fudgy year. I lose all my dates. But anyway, I got an appointment there. And I went down. I thought, right, okay. Absolutely bricking it. I thought, don't know what to expect. Anything like that. Walked in and I got seen by Dr. Berridge. Natasha Berridge, my surgeon. Hi. Seeing her tomorrow to get my lips done. Saw her and she was going through various little bits that, you need to come back so I can both kind of see, because both surgeons are going to work on my face. So I went back because she did like the top half and I won't say superficial, but the top half and making everything pretty. Inglefield, he was doing like the facelift and the nose, which she didn't do. I got myself booked in. I paid my deposit. I thought, yes, this is happening. Not beginning of 2023, actually, January 2023, and I was booked in for surgery in October 2023. So not a long time, I don't think, between.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Dr. Inglefield was ill. So he couldn't perform his side of things. So I didn't get my nose done. I didn't get my face left, which I still need doing. Check me out on IG. I have a GoFundMe link. So yeah, I had my hairline lowered.
Yeah.
Because obviously it had receded quite a bit. So lowered. I had my brows lifted, my brow ridge shaved, upper lip lifted.
Yeah.
And then a bit of liposuction on my neck.
Yeah.
So I had all that done.
How was the recovery like?
10 days in a premiere in the middle of London. Marvellous. Loved it. It was in fact, that October, there were like a week in October, it was really, really warm. And we were in this hotel without any air conditioning. Oh, it was horrendous.
That's horrible.
I had to sit up, try to recover, and I had this bloody bandage thing around my head, which was choking me because it was that tight. And it had all stuffing inside.
Has your life changed dramatically since, once you were all recovered, and when you look at yourself in the mirror? Did your confidence change, for example?
I think because it takes quite a while for it all to settle down properly.
The swallowing.
The swallowing.
The
swallowing. The swelling.
This is swallowing.
The swallowing.
The swelling.
The swallowing. Yes. I do like to swallow.
I can't believe I said that. Oh well.
Hey ho. But yeah, because obviously coming out of surgery, just swollen. I remember looking in the mirror and thinking, "Oh my god, what have I done?" Because it was like this round.
It's a scary look for anyone who hasn't seen pictures the first week or two after face feminization surgery. People are really bruised. They are very swollen.
Very swollen.
Yeah.
Yes. But like I said, because I didn't get my nose done, I suppose, and the facelift, the bruising wasn't too bad. You didn't really see any bruising, to be honest. But I think if you have your nose done, you get a lot of bruising. But yeah, just this swollen face. Oh my god, what have I done?
Yeah.
Oh hell.
Big shock.
Yeah, massive shock. And then gradually over, I suppose, the months afterwards, you could see it kind of changing. I think my lips were one of the biggest changes. That kind of surprised me. Because my top lip used to be quite thin. So obviously being lifted up, I thought, oh my god,
No, honestly, you look amazing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do my best.
Yeah.
But again, it was just that slowly but surely. Like you said before, 49 years as Kev. When I look in the mirror, I still see Kev. Even now, I still see Kev.
Yeah.
Unless I look at photos.
Yeah.
From like the past and compare the two, I think, oh my god, I've changed so much.
Yes.
You think, shit, because I suppose I don't see what other people see.
100%. It's the gender dysphoria. It's gender dysphoria where we really still see the other gender before our transition in the mirror.
Yeah.
And we always think everyone can see us.
That's what people see.
That's what people see.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It is a bit of a mind fuck. I think I don't think people kind of grasp that.
Yeah.
Because you've had facial feminization surgery. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
But I still struggle to see it.
Yeah, I would describe it as like a never-ending inner battle.
Yeah.
That every single day it's happening to you. You think about it all the time. It's on your mind. Whether you leave the house or whether you look at yourself in the mirror, you always see the other gender. Yeah. And you always think like, what can I do to make myself even more feminine, And I think that's I don't want to say normal, but it is very common for most of trans women to go through that. Even if you transition at the age of 20, 30, 40, 50, you still deal with gender dysphoria. But I understand in your situation, it's obviously 90% of your life, maybe 80% of your life. Right?
I was thinking the other day, 95%
of your life.
Of my life was Kev.
Yeah.
And then this last 5%
yeah.
going forward.
Because when I look at my life, it's, now I'm 30, I started when I was 21. So it was like, okay, so 60% of my life I presented male. Then like the 10% was non-binary in between. And then the last 30%, I would say, is female. So yes, I would say like the big part of my life is female already. And I know when I'm 40, it's going to be 50%, yeah? But again, in your case, it's a small percentage. So, I guess it takes lots of adjusting and lots of things to get used to, right?
Yeah. I find that I've got nice kind of lighting at home, like coloured lights and stuff like that, and have like a relaxed kind of setting. So sometimes when I look in the mirror,
that helps you.
All the shadows kind of get phased down, smooth.
Yeah.
I think there's Charlotte.
That's a really good thing, actually. That's a really good advice for people who struggle with gender dysphoria at home, to create your environment like an optical illusion, I would say, right? It's optical illusion.
It kind
like an illusion for your brain to kind of make yourself look so you're not in a bright light like a dentist.
Like this.
Like here, Oh,
wrinkles. It's, so when it's the subdued lighting, I can see. I think actually when I go to like a nightclub or a bar or a pub or something, when it is subdued lighting, that's what I'm going to look like. That's what people see. You know, then I kind of get it then that this is what people see. The fact that I don't see it beside the point, I'm not sure I ever will. But I'm accepting more now that people see me differently to what I do.
And that's a beautiful step forward, I would say. You should be very proud of yourself.
I think it's that, it's that acceptance. Because I accept that as much as I don't see it, that's what people see. Obviously, my voice gives it away, apparently. But I live with that.
Voice.
It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. I thought, do I go through that training, trying to get the voice sorted out? I thought, there's no point, because at some point I'll slip up. I'll be, hi, how are you? You all right, mate?
Yeah.
Oh, God. So I think, no, I'll live with that. I might get if I could afford it, I'd have surgery. So I'd get that done. I mean, surgery-wise, I'd have a hair transplant, get my nose done, get the lift, and get me.
I'll give you the surgeon name after the episode.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm always willing to take this. Get my voice box done, and then obviously bottom surgery.
Yeah.
Because I can get that on NHS, which is what I'm waiting for. The only thing that I'm going to need the gender clinic for, in all fairness, is that surgery. Everything else I'm doing myself.
Yes. Just to clarify as well that some people think that all our surgeries for trans people are covered by the NHS, which is not true. The only surgery that is covered by the NHS is the bottom surgery, right? The rest, it's considered as aesthetic medicine, and we need to cover it ourselves, whether it's facial feminization surgery, voice surgery, breast augmentation, all other surgeries, basically. They are all considered...
All treatments. I've had electrolysis and
laser.
I've spent 20,000 on electrolysis.
I spent 12,000.
Yeah, you think
laser electrolysis,
and I've still got my neck to go.
6 years. Yeah.
So it's kind of.
So being trans is a very expensive hobby.
It's cost me 70,000 so far.
70,000 you spent.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All my savings.
Yeah.
Everything that I had.
Yeah.
But I think now it's worth it.
And people still think that we still doing it for
shits and giggles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, do you think I would spend so much money if I wasn't a woman? For who? I'm doing it for myself. You realize that? So all these people who say, you'll always be a man or you're a man. It's like, I'm not doing this to impress any of you. I'm doing this for myself. I'm going through this pain and spending all this money to feel better, to live a true, authentic life that I deserve and I want to live.
Yeah, it's like we don't just wake up and think, today I'm going to put a dress and a wig on and be a woman. I think, no. Psych reports.
Sorry, what did you say?
Psych reports. Psychiatric reports.
Okay, yeah.
Psychiatric reports. Just to get that confirmation.
Yeah. Running out of doctors, gender specialists.
And then...
why are you suffering from gender dysphoria and you don't want to leave the house?
Yeah.
It's incredibly hard thing to do.
And then to get that report, and then if you want to go onto hormones, if you want surgery, then you have to go through another psychiatric report to make sure that you're actually of sound mind to make this decision.
Yeah.
I thought, I've done all this.
Yeah.
I thought, God, it's been years getting here. And it's just so annoying thinking, why the hell would we do this on a whim?
Yeah.
Why, like I said, why would we spend all this fucking money on a whim? It's not like, I've tried that now. Don't like it. Can I have my money back? No. It infuriates. You're a man. You'll always be a man. Fine. If men look like me in your world, can I join you?
I love that. That's a
Seriously?
good answer. I love that.
It's not my fault that the dolls are dolling. It's a case of we're all beautiful.
We are all beautiful in our own way.
We all blossom, I think, especially on hormones.
I want to say that, people always think that trans women need to be super, super feminine. There's this big pressure like being feminine. But also there are not even cis women who are feminine. And also it's not everyone's goal to be a feminine woman, because your idea of woman is not my idea of woman, you know? It's different for everyone. The idea of what woman is and how a woman should sound and how a woman should look. It's what the society has been putting in you your whole life, right? So we all have different ideas of what a woman is and how she should look.
Different perceptions. Isn't it?
And also beauty standards are different in every culture, in different country, you know? So I always think that like trans women should do what works for them, how they feel beautiful, and do what's right for you. And if someone else doesn't see the woman in you, that's their problem, not yours.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I do find like a lot of trans femmes go hyper femme. I go hyper femme, but I like it. It's a case of I put a belt on, so it gives me a waist because I ain't got much of a waist. I put like dresses on like this because it just emphasises certain aspects.
With a touch, it makes you feel so much better.
Like it shows off my shoulders.
Yeah.
Shows off my legs because apparently I've got legs to die for, which is fine. I'm not going to die for them because they're mine.
By the way, for those who can't see, Charlotte is wearing beautiful laces that are in trans color, matching her nails. And also she's got a ring in a trans flag color. Showing the right finger to the haters. Yeah,
and let me tattoo on my back.
Really cute. So, yeah. Can you show us the tattoo, please?
Oh, God, here we go. I don't know.
It's a trans... Sorry. Yeah. Thank you. I think it's so pretty. And your hair, is it? Your hair is pink and blue?
It's supposed to be red and blue, but
red and blue.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like a favourite combination. It's what I had when I was still Kev, because I used to have a big mohawk. I started growing this mohawk. I didn't realise because my stepdad died in 2020, and it got filmed because obviously a lot of people couldn't go to the funeral because they weren't allowed.
Yeah, of course.
I think it was 30 people were allowed, and that rate, so it was filmed and then broadcast over online. And I got my hair done, this mohawk, and like my mum walked in, my sister walks in, then I walk in, and by that time I was presenting more femme, so I had like a knitted top on, leggings, boots, but this mohawk, and it must have been like a foot tall. It was huge. I was, oh my God, just bobbing along. I was like, yeah, but apparently he'd have loved it, so it's fine.
Yeah.
In fact, he'd have loved what I'm doing now. But I mean, they were quite an accepting guy. Loved him to bits. You know, they were in my life 20 odd years, quite a long time. Might have been 25 years actually. Might have been even longer. God, yeah, a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah.
My another question is how you deal with transphobia, because right now you're sitting here in front of me. I can see this 54-year-old strong trans woman, but I imagine it wasn't always easy for you. Was there any time where you didn't feel safe or you felt very intimidated by transphobic incident?
I think because of COVID and wearing face masks, I got into the habit.
Fierce mask or face mask?
Face mask.
Oh, face mask.
Face mask.
I thought you said fierce mask. I was like, what is fierce mask? I want a better fierce mask.
Wearing face masks. I got into the habit of wearing face masks.
Yeah.
So as I started my transition, I'd wear a face mask.
Yeah.
So people couldn't see. Which suited me just fine because my body was changing because of the hormones. You know, so I finally got breasts. My hair were growing longer. I was obviously doing my eyes, makeup and stuff. Then after surgery, again, put it on because my face was just like this bloated mess. So I avoided a lot of transphobia, I think, because people just didn't realise.
Yes.
But going out, obviously a different matter. Because I thought I can't wear a mask going out, so I've got to go. I mean, thankfully, whenever I go out with friends. I think one incident early on in my transition, I nearly got to the toilet, I thought I need to go for a pee, check my hair, put a bit of lippy on and stuff. What at toilets. There were a lass in front of me waiting. She just kind of looked, all right. And then we were just kind of waiting for a stall to appear. This young lass then walked in. I mean, young, like 9 or 10 years old. And she was kind of looking around. I thought, is she looking for a mum? Because she pushed the door on like this single cubicle door. And you had this, someone's in here. I thought, oh, Christ, right, okay. And this little kid kept wandering around checking doors. And a stall became free. So I thought, oh, my turn, finally. This kid shot in. I thought, right, okay, you obviously need a pee. I thought, right, fine. And we're like, the rest of us just like giggling away. Says, a bit impatient, but there you go. The woman who was in the first stall came out and then looked at me. Was that you pushing on my door? I went, no. It's a young kid. She's just gone in there.
Yeah.
Oh, freaks like you shouldn't fucking be in here. I thought, oh, shit, right, okay. Because I suppose that was my introduction to transphobia. I thought, oh, hell. I thought, right. Then a cubicle.
It was the first transphobic incident you
Yeah.
had.
So that was then. So I thought, right, a cubicle became free. So I thought, right, I'll just go in there quickly and just went in. Did what I had to do.
And it was 3 years back.
This was, I'm trying to think, it might have been 2022.
Yeah.
So prior to getting surgery.
Yeah,
and
okay.
stuff. Came out, washing my hands. And then one of the lasses that was in the queue had seen this, turned to me and said, are you okay? I will be. Says,
Yeah.
just ignore him.
Yeah.
Said, honestly, just ignore it. Says, idiots like that, they're not worth the hassle. Which was quite nice and reassuring for me. But I thought, if I go out now, is she waiting for me outside? Is she going to kick off in the pub? No, she won't. So I went and sat back down, just have a drink with a friend. Sat there, and this guy, you could see this guy making a beeline towards us, going through things, like tables and what have you. Very pissed. All right, ladies. Yeah, thanks, nice. Do you want to come outside and have a drink with us? So, no, fine, thank you. Fine, thank you. Are you a man?
The same night?
This is the same night. This is within like 10 minutes.
Wow.
Are you a man? Like, no. You're a man. You are a man. And my friend said, she's not a man. She's not a man. And then he wandered off. That's a man there. That's a man. Look at that. That's a man. Oh, God. Everyone was kind of ignoring him because he was pissed up. I mean, looking back, I think he and the woman knew each other.
Right.
They were together. So she's obviously gone in. There's a bloke in toilets.
Right.
There. There, sort of thing. So he's made this beeline just to make a point. So I had that. And that's kind of, I think, that's probably the worst attack that I've had. Because it was the first. And it just took me completely by surprise.
Yeah.
And, I mean, really threw me that night. I thought, don't
it's
like this at all.
It's always so unpleasant and
It's
traumatic.
horrendous.
And sometimes you recover from a hate crime for a week, for weeks, and it's literally, it scars you, and like it gets you traumatized for life sometimes.
I don't go to that pub anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, I refuse to go in.
You've got this pub connected to this incident, and you're like, it's going to happen to me again.
It's the clientele. That's what that pub gets.
The clientele,
so
yeah.
why would I go in there? So I go somewhere else instead. Plenty of online transphobic abuse. Plenty. Especially this past week.
Yeah.
It's been absolutely horrendous.
Yeah.
You're a man, you'll always be a man.
What do you do in moments when there's so much noise and so much hate and so much fear, online and offline? How do you take care of yourself?
This past week, I suppose, it's been a bit numbing. Just kind of comprehending everything that's kind of going on.
Yeah.
So I do post a lot of stories and stuff. Sometimes I think I love bomb my stories. There's loads and loads and loads and loads, which I think people are going, oh my God, it's another one. But I think it's a coping mechanism to get it out. This is my frustration. This is what's happening. This is why I'm so frustrated. But I just get it out. Once it's out, it's done. It's fine. yeah, I think, right, fine, I can forget about that. So like my last night's story was my Defiance story. You know, it's a case of, this is me. I'm here. Deal with it.
Yeah.
If you don't like it, piss off.
Yeah.
You know, it's your problem, not mine.
Yeah.
I've worked hard to get to this point.
Yes.
I've still got years to go. You know, it's like I follow a girl in States, and she was on about puberty. So it doesn't happen overnight. If you think back to your first puberty, you started like 11, 12, 13, and it stopped in your early 20s. So you're talking a good 10 years. So I mean, I'm hitting my second puberty, and it's been 4 years. So I've still got a while to go yet. I'm sorry, but second puberty is even worse than the first one.
Yeah.
Because you know what's happening, and you can't stop it. I mean, I've acted like such a fucking 16-year-old child in circumstances. It's just ridiculous. But it's again, it's that venting. Just get things out there. And then I do get to the point where I think, no, fuck you. This is who I am. Deal with it.
Yeah.
When I go out dressed to be looked at. You know, not stared at like some sort of freak, but to be looked at. You know, my clothes are not subtle. My hairstyle isn't subtle. I mean, this is, I quite like it like this. I like the messy sort of look. Dragged through a hedge backwards, you know, just been shagged. Yeah, it's quite nice. And my makeup's not subtle.
Yeah.
I mean, this is probably as subtle as I'm likely to get, to be honest. Because I'm travelling down during the day. I don't want to go too heavy. But I mean, I come from, I suppose, like late 70s, early 80s, where like goth and the heavy makeup and this sort of hair was all the rage. And I used to look at the girls and think, they look amazing. I want to look like that.
And I do.
And now I do.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. So yeah, I deal with it by, it's a case of, you get that kind of frustration at the time, and then it kind of calm down, and then just get that defiance. I think, yeah, piss off. If your world is so sodding small that you think that you can pick on someone for living the life how they want to live, then sorry, but that's your problem. I'm still going to walk around. I'm still going to strut around, looking fucking gorgeous and looking better every damn day. And you're just going to be old, haggard, and alone. Piss off. So yeah, I mean, in all fairness, I mean, a lot of abuse that I get in streets is from groups of boys. Yeah. Teenage boys, because they're all cocky little wankers, aren't they? Yeah. Really. Oh, tranny, that's a tranny. Whatever, you know. How would you know, love? Trust me, in 5 years' time, you'll be on Pissing Grinder looking for women like me.
It's true. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Charlotte.
Blank profile. I'm being discreet. Sod off. I saw you the other day.
Well, we ended up on a happy note.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Charlotte, for coming to Transcrash, for sharing your life story and experience with our listeners today. And I can't wait to go on Patreon right now, where we're going to talk about your dating life and hormones and everything you want to tell me.
Yes. Lots more swearing. Yes.
Lots more swearing. It's going to be...
plenty of cock.
Unfiltered. Yeah. I think it's going to be a lot of fun with this one. Thank you so much again.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
And thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm so happy that you are here every single Thursday. It means so much to me, especially now when we are just getting started. You take care, and remember, so much realness, it will make you blush. Every Thursday on Transcrash. See you next Thursday.
I'm going through bloody puberty, second puberty. And by the time I finish that, I'll be hitting fucking menopause. It's like, I just remember the first time sort of like smelling things. What the hell's that smell? Men. Yeah, shit show. And it's like, after half an hour, oh, I've got to go. But yeah, you've got what you wanted. And now you're going back to your wife.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Give her my love. There was one guy No, he was nice. He was really nice. Delivery guy.
Delivery guy?
A delivery guy. I mean, I've never seen a guy strip off so quick in my life. I mean, he stripped and in bed. I thought, wow, that was quick.
Yeah.
So to the point where I thought, oh my God. So I had to pull covers back, just have a look. And I thought, ow.
If he tops. If he bottoms, we know how he should prepare.
Well, yeah. There are women that out there that look more masked than I do. And they're cis women. So there shouldn't be an issue.
No.